Does our brain hide the truth from us? Chapter 11. Are you having a good day? Are you having a bad day? Why? Often, if not always, our answer will relate to how we view our external conditions and compare them to how we would like them to be. This approach can rob us of the stable happiness we crave. Because we cannot control people and circumstances, we allow our happiness to be in the hands of others. We need to stop outsourcing our happiness to the people and circumstances around us. If we continually look to what is going on around us to satisfy our desire to be happy, we turn to blaming others for the unsatisfactory state of our lives. This is an unstable condition and gives us the feeling that we have minimal control over our own lives. We need to cultivate our source of happiness and contentment from within our mind and soul. Happiness and unhappiness are states of mind. You cannot feel or experience anything outside of yourself. We are always changing. We are a process. Our sense of self is not static or stable. The why you feel is changing. The who you want to be is changing. The who you think you are is changing. The what you think is changing. The how you feel is changing. Your memories, your family, home, and work are changing. The who you used to be and your desires are all changing. If you are starting the search for who you really are, then the truths you uncover are only reflections of your mind. You point to yourself and say, "This is who I am," but that is an unstable identity and subject to change. Your understanding of your identity must not only be based on your outside experiences, because those experiences will also pass. So, where can we find our stable selves, the self that is always at peace, always complete, always harmonious, always content, always silent, always happy? It can be difficult to search for it, however, it is possible to discover it. That discovery starts with awareness. Chip away your perspectives on your attachments to the world. Enjoy the learning from what life presents you with. Be still. There are lots of people and circumstances to enjoy and love, but they are changing too. If you are too attached, they will take your peace with them when they go. But what is witnessing the changing you? In relative terms, it must be something that is not changing. Think of it like this. If you had a ball on a string and it was swinging, how could you say that it was moving? There must be something static to compare it to. That static place is your eye. It is without judgment, therefore, like the referee at the football match in Chapter 4, it perceives clearly. If we have a peaceful state of mind, we will be peaceful regardless of the people or circumstances we encounter. Remember, it is not what's happening in our relationships or circumstances that is causing us to lose our peace. It is how we perceive and respond to those things. So, how can we cultivate peace of mind? Meditate on your purpose, your destiny. Know that everything that is showing up in your life is there to teach you something that you need to learn, either for now or for a time in the future as you work to establish your destiny. You need these lessons to progress on your journey. We have the capacity to reason. That is, we give meaning to the events that happen to us and around us, and we create a narrative of what we perceive those events mean to us. Everything that happens to you has a purpose. These events, your perspective on them, and your actions or reactions to them are creating the person you are becoming. We want to feel in control of our lives, however. When something unexpected happens, we discover that there are circumstances and events that we have little or no control over. How we view and work to understand the purpose of those events and our reasoning of how or why they came to pass rests largely on our perception of the world and our place in it. Donald D. Hoffman, cognitive psychologist, University of California, in his book, The Case Against Reality, Why Evolution Hid the Truth from Our Eyes, suggests that what we use to perceive the world is only a snippet of the information available to us through our senses. He says that our brain deliberately and necessarily hides most of that data from our conscious mind because we would not be able to handle it. He gives an interesting analogy of how and why this is the case. Think of the desktop on your computer or the home page on your phone. Now, let's say you want to send an email to your friend. You find the email icon and click it. That click opens your mail folder, and you can choose the New Mail option. Type in the name of who you are sending it to, write your mail, and click Send. Simple. Now consider what is happening inside your computer or phone when you use those clicks. A data voltage is sent from the app to your central processing unit, or CPU. The CPU is the core component that defines a computing device, and while it is of critical importance, the CPU can only function alongside other hardware. The silicon chip sits in a special socket located on the main circuit board, inside the device. It is separate from the memory, which is where information is temporarily stored. It is also separate from the graphics card or graphics chip, which renders 3D graphics that are displayed on your screen. Have you any idea how many lines of code are involved in doing the work in the background to carry out what looks like this simple action? Can you imagine if you had to manually key in that lengthy code instead of using the app before you could send an email? Would your friends ever hear from you? Our brain is our interface to the world. We have many apps or icons there that apply to the many environments we encounter. We also have many processes going on in our bodies that are keeping us alive that we are not even aware of. A click on an icon gives us our act or face to suit whatever environment we are in. We have different ones for our home, work, social, sport, political, or religious environments. They are the masks we have chosen to wear in those situations. What's going on behind those icons? There are many lines of code there, too, that become activated with each click. Many of those lines of code were already written for us before we were born. They are the social and traditional structures we are born into. Some of them were written as we grew up and experienced life, and more by the traumas we perceived, the opinions of who we are that we took on board from others, and yet more from our opinion of how we fit in or conform to the standards of intelligence, beauty, physical shape, social standing, and abilities, as set by our society. Even our opinion on the scale of what happiness we should aspire to have or strive to experience is set by social standards of success, wealth, comfort, and accomplishment. Rewiring those icons and apps takes time and understanding, and it can only begin with a realization that the wiring is wrong or at least not beneficial for our lives. Our basic urge to survive and our need for attachments are the drivers behind almost every decision we make. These are the hardware and software processors on the inside of us, and they have been built from our family and social environments, our traumas, and our experiences growing up. They also need reviewing and upgrading just like our computer. We continually make assumptions and draw conclusions based on the information our brain feeds us. That sounds reasonable. However, we know that we look for reasons to justify the way we think, and that's what our brain will make available to us. We draw conclusions based on our understanding of the facts presented to us. Donald D. Hoffman suggests we can test this out with some information and then some questions. From your apartment window, you see people arriving at the local train station every morning at 8 a.m. Every morning at 8:05 a.m., a train pulls into the station, stops to allow the people to get on board, then travels on its journey. Here are the questions. 1. Does the arrival of the people at the train station cause the train to arrive at that time? Or 2, is it because the train will arrive at that time that causes the people to be there? Actually, neither is true. The underlying cause for both events, the reason for both the people and train to meet, is an office clerk making the timetable for that train. The people, regardless of their opinions, must conform to the schedule if they want to reach their objective, to catch the train. The train can't choose whether to go or not. It goes because its only purpose in life is to follow the schedule. The train, your life, will pass by, whether you are ready to get on or not. Getting to the train station on time is your destiny. Where the train goes is your destiny. We often miss the real reason why things happen, the underlying causes deep in our lives. We don't recognize the pull of our purpose and destiny. We can make our plans, set our course, use our compass to point us in the direction we think we should go. However, if that direction is not on our purpose line, then we will meet challenges, pitfalls, and stress. We won't have flow in our lives. Everything will feel like we must force it to get it to work. That's not to say that it won't work, but there will be little peace within it. Think of it this way. Let's focus in on a little ant for a moment. He is a talented ant and not afraid of hard work. He is ambitious. He has set his goal on going north. That is where he believes his future happiness lies. He diligently plods through the terrain, keeping an eye on his compass to make sure he is heading north. Everybody admires him for his focus. Okay, let's zoom out from that ant to get a broader picture of what is going on. Now we can see that the ant is actually on the back of an elephant. Is that a problem? It could be, since the elephant is walking south. How much control do you have over the events in your life? Many business people who were hardworking and diligently building their businesses in 2008 suddenly had everything taken from them because of the economic crash. Many of them not only lost their businesses, but also their homes and livelihood. They thought they were heading north, only to discover that the economy was heading south. Those who had tied their identity and their soul to the success of their business lost those too. Was that meant to happen? That's a bitter pill to swallow. I know that too well. However, if it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't have happened. We can blame anybody or anything for the challenges in our lives, but to what end? The results are the same. If we believe that things happen by chance, would we feel any better about them? Our attachments to our ideals and to what we choose to believe can keep us locked into thoughts, feelings, judgments, and regrets that add little benefit to our lives. If things happen because they are meant to happen, then perhaps there was some benefits to gain, some purpose in it. We can search for the reasons, but they can be hard to find because our thoughts often hide them from us. Our emotional attachments augur our perceptions. Our brain hides the complexity of the truth from us because we want it to. It is not unusual that the purpose for the challenges we face in our lives reveals itself to us at some future time. We must acknowledge suffering, both internal and external, as part of life. We want to either get rid of it, make sense of it, or blame somebody else for it, and sometimes none of those options are possible or beneficial. We complain that it's not fair, or blame it on karma, or ask, why me? When we conclude that suffering, as painful as it is our perceptions clashing with reality, then we will experience it as an integral part of our journey. We crave certainty. Real life lives in the uncertain. Don't try to solve life's conundrums in your persona, your me. Witness the movement of your mind. Stay neutrally aware. Question what voices are urging you to get involved in the noise of life. Your peace is waiting for you behind the blinds of that noise. Open them. Peace of mind is one of the essentials for sound decision-making. When the mind is tranquil, free from turmoil and inner conflicts, it becomes a clear lens through which one can discern the right choices. Chaos and anxiety cloud judgment, leading to hasty, ill-informed decisions. Inner peace grants the clarity and composure needed to evaluate options, consider consequences, and make wise, rational choices. It's the tranquil harbor where intuition and reason can harmonize, enabling individuals to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and confidence. In the absence of peace of mind, the compass of decision-making often veers off course, resulting in regrettable outcomes. Awareness is the key. When you're operating in the unconscious, automated, and habitual side of your brain, you don't have access to the information you need to be aware and understand the moment you are in. It is hidden from you. Pause. Take a breath. Become consciously aware of what is going on around you and, most importantly, inside you. Become aware of your judgments in real time. In your mind, see yourself outside your body, viewing the room you're in and the other people there. Listen to the conversation. Listen to yourself. Are you being true to yourself? Are you speaking truth? In that place, you have conscious control over your emotions. You can feel angry but not act on it. You can remain calm. When you are calm, you can process information faster and better. You will experience a peace that transcends your understanding and that will guide your life in a powerful way. Quote, "Where you are looking from is as important as what you are looking at." Jim Bulger.